Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Sario Canal National Project in Balrampur district of Uttar Pradesh. President Ramnath Kovind reviews passing out parade at Indian Military Academy in Dehradun, says Indian flag shall always fly high because of brave hearts like General Bipin Rawat, trained at the prestigious institution. India sends humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan consisting of medical supplies. India successfully tests extended range version of multi-barrel rocket launcher system Pinaka-ER. Over 131 crore 99 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Section 144 imposed in Mumbai for 48 hours to prevent large gatherings in view of Omicron variant of COVID. Prime Minister to address bank deposit insurance program tomorrow. US, Canada and UK impose sanctions on people and entities tied to China, Myanmar and North Korea for human rights violations. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is also causing concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Sario Canal National Project in Balrampur district of Uttar Pradesh today. The project will facilitate irrigation to over 14 lakh hectares of land in 9 districts of eastern Uttar Pradesh. It will benefit about 29 lakh farmers in over 6,200 villages. Addressing the event, the Prime Minister gave tribute to Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat.
साथियों, राष्ट्र निर्माताओं और राष्ट्र रक्षकों की धरती से मैं आज देश के उन सभी वीर योद्धाओं को भी श्रद्धांजलि दे रहा हूं जिनका 8 दिसंबर को हेलीकॉप्टर हादसे में निधन हो गया। भारत के पहले चीफ ऑफ डिफेंस स्टाफ जनरल बिपिन रावत जी का जाना हर भारत प्रेमी के लिए, हर राष्ट्र भक्त के लिए बहुत बड़ी क्षति है। जनरल बिपिन रावत जी जितने जांबाज थे, देश की सेनाओं को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए जितनी मेहनत करते थे, पूरा देश उसका साक्षी रहा है।
Let's now go live to listen to the Prime Minister's address at the event underway in Balrampur.
वो किसान जिनके पास 2 हेक्टेयर से कम भूमि है, उनके लिए सिंचाई की ये व्यवस्था जीवन बदलने वाली होती है। जैसे कोई व्यक्ति मृत्युशैया पर पड़ा हो, उसको ब्लड की जरूरत हो, लहू की जरूरत हो, रक्त की आवश्यकता हो, और जैसे ही डॉक्टर रक्त ला करके उसको चढ़ाएं और उसकी जीवन बच जाता है, इस पूरे क्षेत्र के खेतों को ऐसी ही नई जिंदगी मिलने वाली है। साथियों, बलरामपुर की मसूर दाल का स्वाद तो बीते सालों में देश भर में फैला ही है। अब पारंपरिक फसलों के साथ साथ इन क्षेत्रों के किसान अधिक दाम देने वाली, अधिक आय देने वाली दूसरी फसलों की खेती भी व्यापक रूप से कर पाएंगे। साथियों, सार्वजनिक जीवन में मुझे एक लंबे समय से काम करने का सौभाग्य मिला है। मैंने पहले की कितनी ही सरकारें देखी है, उनका कामकाज भी देखा है। इस लंबे कालखंड में जो मुझे सबसे अधिक अखरा।
Speaking on the occasion, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath in his address said Eastern Uttar Pradesh has been neglected since independence, but Prime Minister Narendra Modi has helped this region to develop in all possible ways. He said the Prime Minister had recently inaugurated development projects worth 10,000 crore rupees, including AIMS and fertilizer plant in Gorakhpur. Mr. Adityanath said a series of medical colleges are coming up in the state. 5 rivers, Ghagra, Sario, Rapti, Banganga and Rohini have been interlinked to facilitate irrigation in the water deficit regions of eastern UP. The project was pending for over 40 years and the work on it expedited since Prime Minister Narendra Modi assumed charge in 2014. President Ramnath Kovind today reviewed the passing out parade at the prestigious Indian Military Academy IMA in Dehradun. On the occasion, the President remembered India's first Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, who earlier this week died in a helicopter crash in Tamil Nadu that also claimed the lives of his wife, Madhulika, Brigadier L.S. Leader and several others. Addressing cadets at IMA, President Kovind said Indian flag shall always fly high because of brave hearts like Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat, who was trained at this prestigious institution, will always preserve and protect its honour. The President lauded the effort of India's first Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat. He said the IMA takes pride in its rich legacy and the saga of valour and sacrifice etched by its brave alumni.
We gather here today when the nation is yet to come out of the shock of the untimely demise of General Bipin Rawat, the Chief of Defence Staff. As you know, 12 others, including General Rawat's wife, Srimati Madhulika Rawat ji, were also killed in the chopper crash. General Rawat was an extraordinary military leader, and his death creates a void that cannot be filled. On this occasion, let us recall the iconic status acquired by one of the many illustrious alumni of the Academy, General Bipin Rawat, who by dint of his hard work emerged as the role model of solidarity, conduct for the future generation. Our flag shall always fly high because brave men like you will preserve and protect its honor.
The President congratulated the gentlemen cadets on completing their training at IMA. He urged the cadets to dedicate themselves in the service of the nation. He told them about the challenges that the nation is facing today at the regional and global levels.
The challenges that our great nation faces today are defined by a complex security environment at the regional and global level. You must, therefore, keep in mind that physical and mental toughness alone will not equip you to tackle modern-day threats to the country. As military leaders, you will have to develop a strategic mindset, cultivate an adaptive temperament, and acquire the mental resilience essential to hone the skills required for military leadership.
President Kovind exhorted that the advancement in technology has often been driven by military dynamics and that modern-day military leaders must embrace this technological drift and understand the seamless synergy required between men and machines.
Armed forces across the world are heavily reliant on use of technology to deter or defeat the enemy's fighting capability. As modern-day military leaders, you must embrace this technological shift and understand the seamless synergy required between men and machines. It is therefore imperative that you develop sound scientific temperament and include the desire and passion to adopt technology and innovation.
A total of 387 gentlemen cadets of 149 regular course and 132 technical graduate course, including 68 cadets from 10 friendly foreign countries, successfully passed out from the Indian Military Academy during the passing out parade for autumn term 2021 today. The gentlemen cadets put up an excellent show, marching with perfection to military tunes of Colonel Bogi, Sare Jahan Se Acha and Kadam Kadam Badhaye Ja, with pride and elan reflecting in each step. This year, 2021, also marks the 50th anniversary of the victory of the Indian Armed Forces in the 1971 war, and it is being observed as Swarnim Vijay Varsh in honor of the Indian soldier who laid down their lives in the line of duty.
India today successfully tested extended-range version of multi-barrel rocket launcher system Pinaka-ER at the Pokhran range. Successful tests of Pinaka extended-range Pinaka-ER area-denial munitions ADM and indigenously developed fuses have been carried out at various test ranges. The system is jointly designed by Laboratories of Defence Research and Development Organisation DRDO, Armament Research and Development Establishment ARDE in Pune, and High Energy Materials Research Laboratory HEMRL in Pune. The Pinaka-ER is the upgraded version of the earlier version of Pinaka, which has been in service with the Indian Army for the last decade. The system has been designed in the light of emerging requirements with advanced technologies enhancing the range. The DRDO, along with the Army, conducted series of performance evaluation trials of these industry-produced rockets at field firing ranges during the past 3 days. In these trials, enhanced range Pinaka rockets were test-fired at different ranges with various warhead capabilities. All the trial objectives were met satisfactorily. A number of 24 rockets were fired for different ranges and warhead capabilities to meet the objectives of accuracy and consistency. With this, the initial phase of technology absorption of Pinaka-ER by the industry partner has been successfully completed, making the industry partner ready for serious production of the rocket system. The ARDE Pune has developed different fuses for Pinaka rocket for different types of applications. After design validation trials, dynamic performance evaluation of these fuses has been evaluated with flight testing.
India today dispatched humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan consisting of medical supplies. These medicines will be handed over to the representatives of the World Health Organization in Kabul and will be administered at the Indira Gandhi Children's Hospital, Kabul. The relief material was sent through the same flight which carried 104 stranded persons from Afghanistan to India yesterday. The flight brought 10 Indians and 94 Afghans, including members of Afghan minority community. 2 swarups of Guru Granth Sahib Ji and some ancient Hindu manuscripts were also brought in the flight.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Sario Canal National Project in Balrampur district of Uttar Pradesh. President Ramnath Kovind reviews passing out parade at Indian Military Academy in Dehradun. Says Indian flag shall always fly high because of brave hearts like General Bipin Rawat trained at the prestigious institution. India sends humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan consisting of medical supplies. India successfully tests extended range version of multi-barrel rocket launcher system Pinaka-ER. Over 131 crore 99 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Section 144 imposed in Mumbai for 48 hours to prevent large gatherings in view of Omicron variant of COVID. Prime Minister to address Bank Deposit Insurance Program tomorrow. US, Canada and UK impose sanctions on people and entities tied to China, Myanmar and North Korea for human rights violations. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे. Welcome back to the Midday News. Over 131 crore 99 lakh doses of COVID vaccine have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Union Health Ministry said more than 76 lakh 36,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The ministry said 9,265 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours and the national recovery rate stands at 98.36%.
The country reported 7,992 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. The Union government has said more than 140 crore COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. The Health Ministry today said over 18 crore 28 lakh unutilized vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered.
The centre has asked all states and union territories to maintain a strict watch on the COVID situation with focused district-level measures for containment of clusters of new positive cases. In a letter written to Chief Secretaries and Administrators of all states and union territories, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan said that in case of any district reporting a surge in cases or rise in positivity rates, intensive action and local containment must be initiated. He said 8 districts in 3 states, Mizoram, Kerala and Sikkim, have been reporting more than 10% positivity rates in the past 2 weeks. Apart from this, 19 districts in 7 states and union territories have been reporting between 5 to 10% positivity. Mr. Bhushan said these 27 districts need to be monitored very closely. He asked them for strict adherence to COVID-appropriate behavior at all places and at all times must also be rigorously enforced and aggressively monitored. The strategic containment interventions in identified areas with test positivity rate of more than 10%, states and union territories should impose night curfews, restrictions on intermingling of people, prohibition of congregations, curtailment of attendees in marriages and last rites. The second case of Omicron variant has been reported in Delhi. The person was coming from Zimbabwe and was fully vaccinated. The person had also travelled to South Africa. The first Omicron COVID case was detected in Delhi on the 5th of this month.
The Mumbai Police imposed Section 144 of Code of Criminal Procedure CRPC within Mumbai Commissionerate limits for 48 hours to prevent large gatherings in Mumbai. The order has been issued to prevent danger to human life in view of the new Omicron variant of COVID-19 as well as a threat to the law and order situation against the backdrop of violence that took place in Amravati, Malegaon and Nanded districts of the state. More from our correspondent.
Section 144 has been imposed within Mumbai Commissionerate limits to prevent large gatherings in Mumbai. The imposition of Section 144 has already come into effect from midnight and it will be in force till Sunday. As per the order, violators will be punished under legal provisions as applicable. Meanwhile, Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar has warned of taking tough decisions if those eligible to take second dose are dilly-dallying in taking the second dose of COVID preventive vaccine. He said that although there has been a good response to vaccination from citizens, about 38 to 40% of people in the state have not taken their second dose of the vaccine. Health Minister Rajesh Tope has appealed to the Sarpanch to cooperate in the COVID vaccination campaign. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
India is among the few countries that have recorded growth in the economy in 4 consecutive quarters amid COVID-19, reflecting the resilience of the Indian economy. In its monthly economic review for November, the Finance Ministry said the real GDP in the second quarter of this financial year has grown by 8.4%. The recovery was driven by a revival in services, full recovery in manufacturing and sustained growth in agriculture sectors. The ministry said the recovery suggests kick-starting of the investment cycle supported by surging vaccination coverage and efficient economic management, activating the macro and micro drivers of growth.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the function on depositors' first guaranteed time-bound deposit insurance payment up to 5 lakh rupees tomorrow at 12 noon in Vigyan Bhavan. Union Finance Minister, Minister of State for Finance and RBI Governor will also be present during the occasion. Deposit insurance covers all deposits such as savings, fixed, current, recurring deposits in all commercial banks functioning in India. Farmers have started leaving from their protesting site of Ghazipur border in Delhi after suspending their protest against the 3 farm laws and other related issues. The farmers have been agitating at Delhi borders for about a year. The Parliament had repealed these farm laws on the first day of the ongoing winter session of Parliament. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his address to the nation on the 19th of last month, had announced that the new farm laws enacted in 2020 would be repealed in the winter session of Parliament. Mr. Modi had appealed to all protesting farmers to go home.
President Ramnath Kovind and Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today paid tribute to former President Pranab Mukherjee on his birth anniversary. President Kovind paid floral tributes to Pranab Mukherjee on his portrait at Raj Bhavan in Uttarakhand. The Vice President, in a tweet today, said Pranab Mukherjee was an erudite statesman, towering intellectual and a consensus builder. And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day. In today's episode, we remember freedom fighter and the pioneer of modern Tamil poetry, Subramania Bharati, who was born on the 11th of December, 1882. Popularly known as Bharatiyar, his works, including fiery songs, kindled patriotism during the Indian independence movement. He also worked towards the emancipation of women and so-called lower castes.
Bharatiyar was a champion of women's rights, and he believed that women were the propagators of civilization and the preservers of culture. He wrote that women must write the laws and lead the society. In Bharatiyar's own words, Vivekananda's disciple, Sister Nivedita, taught him the meaning of true service to the nation. As a mark of respect, Bharatiyar dedicated the first volume of his national songs to her.
Bharatiyar covered political, social and spiritual themes. The songs and poems composed by him have become staples in the literary and musical repertoire of Tamil artists throughout the world. He paved the way for modern blank verse and wrote many books, including Kananpatta, Songs to Krishna, Panchali Sapdam, Panchali's Vow, and Kuyal Patta, Koyal Song.
Anji Anji Shavar, Ivaranjada Purulile, Avanile, Anji Anji Shavar, Ivaranjada Purulile.
India Post issued a commemorative stamp in his honor in 1960. All India Radio salutes the great nationalist and people's poet.
We also remember Rashtrakavi Pradeep, who died on 11th of December 1998. Born as Ramachandra Dwivedi on the 6th of February 1915 in Barnagar, Madhya Pradesh, Kavi Pradeep started writing and reciting poetry at a very early age. After enthralling audiences and gatherings in his home state with his inimitable style, he was invited to a Kavi Sammelan in Bombay, where he was offered his first film, Kangan, by Himanshu Rai of Bombay Talkies.
His next film was Bandhan in 1940, of which Pradeep wrote all the songs, including the most notable Chal Chal Re Naujawan, which made waves since the Indian freedom movement was at a crucial juncture. Later in 1943, movie Kismat reverberated the Quit India call through the patriotic song आज हिमालय की चोटी से फिर हमने ललकारा है, दूर हटो ऐ दुनिया वालों, हिंदुस्तान हमारा है।
आज हिमालय की चोटी से फिर हमने ललकारा है, दूर हटो दूर हटो दूर हटो ऐ दुनिया वालों, हिंदुस्तान हमारा।
गांधी जी ने जब 42 में क्विट इंडिया का स्लोगन दिया कि करो या मरो, तो हम एक पिक्चर बना रहे थे किस्मत में। मैंने एक गाना लिखा तो मैंने कहा दुनिया वालों को तो रहने दो, लेकिन दूसरे स्टेंजा के अंदर कि शुरू हुआ है जंग तुम्हारा, जाग उठो हिंदुस्तानी, तुमने किसी के आगे झुकना, जर्मन हो या जापानी। और फिर आज सभी के लिए हमारा यही कौमी नारा है, दूर हटो दूर हटो दूर हटो ये दुनिया वालों, हिंदुस्तान हमारा है।
Kavi Pradeep is among the handful of patriots who always thought of nation first. The strong morale-boosting words of "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logon" gave solace to a nation agonized in the aftermath of 1962 India-China war.
He donated his lifetime royalty of the song "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logon" to the war widows of the Indian Army. We salute this patriot poet whose songs still imbue every Indian with nationalistic zeal.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404, issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago. Union Minister of State, Independent Charge, Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh inaugurated the 7th edition of India International Science Festival in Panaji in Goa today. He said the theme of the 4-day science festival is Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, celebrating creativity, science, technology and innovation for a prosperous India. He said it is time to lay down the roadmap of scientific progress for the next 25 years when India celebrates the centenary of independence.
The United States has imposed extensive human rights-related sanctions on dozens of people and entities tied to China, Myanmar and North Korea. The U.S. also added Chinese artificial intelligence company SenseTime Group, specializing in facial recognition technology, to an investment blacklist. Canada and the United Kingdom joined the U.S. in imposing sanctions related to human rights abuses in Myanmar, while Washington also imposed the first new sanctions on North Korea under President Joe Biden's administration and targeted Myanmar military entities, among others, in action marking Human Rights Day.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. National capital Delhi will have a mainly clear sky. Jammu, Srinagar, Leh and Muzaffarabad will have clear sky. In the northeast, Guwahati, Aizawl, Kohima, Itanagar will have mainly clear sky. Hyderabad, the temperature will hover between 20 and 29 degrees Celsius. Thiruvananthapuram and Bengaluru will have partly cloudy sky. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Sario Canal national project in Balrampur district of Uttar Pradesh. President Ramnath Kovind reviews passing out parade at Indian Military Academy in Dehradun. Says Indian flag shall always fly high because of brave hearts like General Bipin Rawat, trained at the prestigious institution. India sends humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan consisting of medical supplies. India successfully tests extended range version of multi-barrel rocket launcher system Pinaka ER. Over 131 crore 99 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Section 144 imposed in Mumbai for 48 hours to prevent large gatherings in view of Omicron variant of COVID. Prime Minister to address bank deposit insurance program tomorrow. US, Canada and UK impose sanctions on people and entities tied to China, Myanmar and North Korea for human rights violations. And with that we end the midday news.